In a small consulting firm in Boston, the owner gets over 200 emails a day. 6 months ago, this would have consumed hours of her time. Today, she spends less than 30 minutes in her inbox. Meanwhile, in a design studio in Austin, a solopreneur manages a client load that would typically require 3 employees. And in countless businesses across the country, work that once demanded human attention is happening automatically. What's changed? Well, these businesses have deployed AI agents, a technology fundamentally different from the AI tools that most of us are familiar with, and it's reshaping what's possible for small businesses. Now, I'm no stranger to AI. I talk about it all the time on this channel, but what's the difference between the AI that we've grown comfortable with, like using ChatGPT to help us write content or do basic research, and an agent? What do agents do that traditional AI, if we can call anything about AI traditional, can't do? The thing is, if you ask 9 people what an agent actually is, you're gonna get 10 different answers. So I'm here to get to the bottom of what makes some AI agents while others aren't, and more importantly, how we as service business owners can use them to get more done with less. Essentially doing the work of a much larger team, even if you're a solopreneur. To understand why everybody's hyped up about AI agents, we need to know how we got here. So think of AI development as happening in 3 distinct stages, with each building on the capabilities of the previous one. Stage 1 was chatbots. They're AI systems with natural conversation abilities, but they're really limited to responding directly to your own questions within their training knowledge. So think ChatGPT, using it to help you write blog posts or emails and asking it questions almost like you would Google something. Stage 2 are reasoners. So these are systems capable of human-level problem solving across a really broad range of topics. When DeepSeek blew up the internet with its ability to not only provide simple search results and answers, it actually used reason and a step-by-step thinking process to go a lot deeper. And soon every other AI player followed suit. Google, Gemini, and ChatGPT both came out with their own deep research models, both named Deep Research, oh the creativity. And believe it or not, this simple ability to take in a request and reason its way through the steps to get to the right information is in fact a first step to agentic behavior. So I sat down with AI expert Rick Mulready to help me understand why.
The deep research part is agentic because you're just giving it a question and then it goes out itself and does the research for you. Meaning like it's going to find all the articles and the whatever it's searching to come up with the research report. So if somebody wants to look at like a very simple example of like agentic behavior, go use deep research for free on ChatGPT, put in a search, and 25 minutes later, it's going to give you a detailed research report. That is agentic behavior because you've given it one question or you've asked it to do something, and then it goes out and does it, and it decides where to go to get you that information.
And that brings us to stage 3. Agents. Agents can act independently or following human instructions. So they represent the current frontier of AI development where the AI can break through to not just think, but actually do. Instead of just telling you about travel options, an agent can actually book your flight. Rather than suggesting email responses, it can draft and send them. Instead of writing social media posts, it can create the posts and publish them across all platforms, all on its own. So now we know that deep research models are a low-level agent in that they take your goal and they act on their own to figure out the best way to get you the information you requested. And that alone is incredibly powerful for any business. You can use it to get everything from competitor analysis to customer research, and even get a really detailed report on the words that your customers use when they talk about their problems and what they want the most. That is gold when it comes to putting together a really persuasive marketing message. You can even put an AI agent to work answering your customer service emails.
Agentic behavior that is completely possible today is it can read the emails, and then depending on a knowledge base, basically knowledge files that you've given the AI, it will look at the email that it's come in. It will read it, analyze it, figure out the context of the email, and then it will go look at your knowledge base and it will write a response based on the information that you've given it. You can even set it up so that it does that all automatically and responds for you, or you can set it up fairly easily to, put into, say, like your draft folder if you want to review it before it goes out, which I like to recommend to do.
There are even phone answering agents that sound exactly like real people that are trained on your own company data. So they can not only answer questions, they can actually set appointments, take reservations, and handle simple customer service tasks. A medical clinic here in Chicago added one of these phone agents to their practice last year. Now, when patients call after hours or when the front desk is busy, the AI assistant can schedule appointments, answer questions about services, and even send appointment reminders. So the actual people can now spend much more time helping the patients who are physically in the office, improving everyone's experience. But there's a brand new category of AI agent that can do even more for you. In theory, anyway.
You have like ChatGPT's operator, which is an agent. At the time we're recording this, Manus is all the rage right now over the past few days. It's browser-based, and you tell it what you want it to do, and you give it some guidelines and it will go do it.
These tools can literally take control of your internet browser and perform a lot of the same kind of tasks that a human could do online.
It has the ability to go beyond what I like to call sort of the gimmicky stuff that you can do with agents right now. Like the gimmicky stuff for me is like, go order me some socks, go order me lunch, and get it delivered to my house by whatever, 12:30. That's pretty common behavior right now for agents. But what I'm seeing with Manus is like, yeah, it can do all those things, but now there's actual like business use cases that I'm seeing. So for example, create branding assets for you for presentations that you might be giving. So it's like, look at this, now create me something similar.
SEO consultant Julian Goldie reported that with a single prompt, Manus built an entire lead generation website for his business. That included multiple pages with accurate company information and a functioning contact capture system in just minutes. And this wasn't just a static template. The agent wrote code, put together the content, and deployed the whole site live. But while tools like Operator and Manus show a ton of potential,
it's not completely autonomous.
Lots can get in their way. Things as simple as logins and CAPTCHAs can stop them dead in their tracks, needing lots of human intervention at this point. And that's because these tools usually run inside of a virtual browser environment. It's not just taking control of your actual browser window where you could be, logged into all of your accounts. That would make it really hard to create your logo design on Canva or even book your travel in that classic use case example. But oversight is good, right? We don't necessarily want the AI having carte blanche to buy $1,000 worth of socks or a first-class round trip to Australia the same weekend as your daughter's wedding. So for now, things like purchases tend to still be pretty locked up, requiring you to step in before any critical decisions are made. And that's a good thing. But even that is about to change if you want it to.
The Opera browser just announced last week that they now have an agent built into the browser. It's the first time we're seeing that within a well-known browser. And it makes more sense because if somebody's using Opera on a day-to-day basis, they're more likely to be logged into tools and stuff like that. So, there's less friction, if you will, if you're using it to do certain things within the browser because you're already logged in.
So if you wanted it to make you a logo or a social post, you could just use the Opera browser and you're logged into Canva or ChatGPT's image creation tool, and that's going to be able to create whatever you need for you.
Yeah. And also like PowerPoint or Keynote or what have you. You give it a little bit of guidance about like what you might be looking for, and then it goes and does it.
Not only will browser-based agents get better and more reliable, but we can also look forward to this same idea going even further to where the AI is going to be able to take over your whole computer. This will let it use any offline-based software too. So imagine if you're a business owner doing what I always recommend, using YouTube as a client generation tool. The worst part about that is usually editing your own videos. Well, an agent that could take over your computer could technically learn how to edit your videos the way you like them and then do it. And then it could use Photoshop to make your thumbnails. Think about an admin cleanup and organization day. Your desktop could be a mess and you can't find anything, a scenario that I'm personally all too familiar with. But then imagine that the AI agent sorts all your files into folders, deletes duplicates, organizes your downloads, and creates labeled folders for all your receipts, contracts, and projects. It could even rename files like this into this. Or what about building and sending your invoices? You could just tell it, send invoices to everyone I worked with last month. The AI would then open up your spreadsheet or calendar, they would see who you worked with, then create custom invoices in Canva or Word, save them as PDFs, then email them with a polite note and update your books all in one step. How do you think that AI agents are going to change the way that we work as small businesses?
A lot. I think that technology has a long way to go in terms of it becoming a true employee for us that doesn't take much oversight. If you have an agency, for example, that, I don't know, like content marketing or something like that, or data analysis or what have you, and you take on projects that would normally require, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 people. Honestly, these things can be done now with one person because of the AI opportunities and these agents that can go do things for you.
How long do you think it's going to be before we get to these fully autonomous agents?
When is all this going to be possible is sort of the $1 million question. If you ask, say, like the Anthropic CEO, you say like 2027, in a couple of years, other people come back and say, you're nuts. Like we're not even going to be close to that.
And of course, we can't talk about AI taking over all of these processes in our business in the face of a possible recession without at least acknowledging the big, ugly elephant in the room.
Is it going to eliminate jobs and stuff like that? It will, but it's the people that understand how this stuff is working and getting in and using it and understanding it to the point where it's like, all right, well, maybe this opens a new opportunity. Oh, I didn't know agents could do, X, Y, and Z. Maybe I could use them to fill in the blank. And so I think, yes, in terms of human capital, it will affect people for sure. On the flip side of that, there's also a big opportunity. What does this allow me to do now? And think about it from that standpoint, which I think is really cool to think about.
But for now, let's just meet AI agents where they are today and use them to the best of their ability. So my absolute favorite use case of agents is using deep research to improve your website conversions by 125% or more. I've got the entire start to finish strategy in this video right here. So click here and let's get you started using AI agents to move your business ahead starting today. So click here and I'll see you there in a second.